Okay, we got to do this quick because
Quick.
we have somebody come and give us some quotes on things. So Jimmy might be eating along the way.
No, I won't.
You were not?
No.
You got them sitting there.
They're for later.
Anyway, I want to make sure I'm in it because somebody doesn't tell me.
No.
Get close.
Are you in now?
Close.
All right, that's better.
There we go. Tracy over at Trials of a Long-Hair Girl, I was talking with your girl, Kim,
Yes.
this morning, and Tracy's going to have a tag going up next week.
Oh, okay.
She's still kind of a little under the weather. Tracy from Trials of a Long-Hair Girl does the tags every week, but she had rotator cuff surgery, and so she's still in the process of recuperating from that.
That's a lot, too.
That is a lot. So, so today we're going to do a Ask Us Anything, and you guys gave us lots of questions. So let's get started. Jimmy said he'll answer anything.
Anything.
So Weight Watchers with Carrie wants to know what's the scariest thing you ever experienced, and not my driving.
Scariest thing I've ever. Oh, okay. This wouldn't scare anybody. So I was working downtown Detroit, and I was on a JLG, which is a lift with an arm, and it's got a basket, and you can drive. Well, I was up 4 stories, and I needed to reach to get like one more, it's out of my reach. So you can drive them when they're up that way. It's not recommended, but if you're on a flat surface, it's usually not a problem.
I don't think it would pass OSHA's.
It probably wouldn't have. But I was on the sidewalk, so it was basically a smooth.
Okay.
So there was no problems. So, and I remember I had an apprentice with me who was terrified of heights, and that was his first day.
Was his name Danny?
No.
Or his mother?
So he kept holding the rails, and I kept telling him, get your hands off the rails, because if I swing in,
Right.
an accident, and it goes against the building, you're just going to chop your fingers off. So just stop, so every once in a while I'd smack his fingers. So I explained to him, we're going to drive forward about 6 inches is all I need to drive, and then we'll be fine. Well, I drove 6 inches, and the concrete broke in front of the bottom of one wheel. And that thing, luckily, the building was here, and that thing just went and leaned right there to where we can climb out of the basket and get onto the floor. But you talk about...
Did he show up the next day for work?
He did not. He actually quit that day. But you talk about needing to change underwear. That was as close as I came.
I guess that would be pretty scary. Okay, and then Carrie wanted to know from me, did I always read when I was younger and living at home? I have been an avid reader my whole life. I remember reading like the Nancy Drew and all of those things. So I can't remember a time.
I can't remember you not reading.
I know, I've always read. Even like our new readers, when we first learned how to read. See Jane run, 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 run. See Dick run, 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 run. See Spot, run, run, run. See Dick, Jane, and Spot, run, run, run. That was my first book.
My favorite one was, I can't for the life of me remember what book it was, but they wouldn't do it now. But they showed, they had the pictures.
Yeah.
But it was some kid, they were at camp, and he was in like a sleeping bag shivering, and it says, whatever, Dick has malaria. And I was thinking back, what?
Jimmy's favorite book growing up was
Are You My Mother?
Are You My Mother? Which should have been Danny's book, because when we were growing up, Mary lived with us, and we used to always tell Mary that I wasn't his mother, that Mary was his mother. Yeah, we messed with our kids all their whole life. Anyway, Valerie Reese has got 5 questions. I'm sure they came up with Steve, because Steve always says, how come she comes up with so many questions?
Yeah.
But Valerie, the first thing is, what's the scariest thing you ever did, which you just answered. The scariest thing I ever did was one time...
And on the second step of a 6-foot ladder.
No, Jim said we would get up to the second step of a 6-foot ladder. That's not true. Mine was when I was taking the bus one time home from college, and I didn't want to miss the bus, and so I was running across Gratiot, which was probably a 6-lane highway, to catch the bus against the red light, and I almost got hit by a car. And I had to push off the bus. I still missed the bus. I didn't even make the bus. But my heart was in my throat, because I don't know how many, I dodged.
You were in the movies, you were an action star.
I could have been that's when I could run. That was when I was way younger. Number 2 is, have you ever ridden on a horse?
Lots of them. I love riding horses.
Yes, I've been on a horse. When I was a teenager, we used to go to Sugarbush, which is,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there, if they have the farm over there still,
don't
because I
think
don't
it-
live that far from Sugarbush. But it'd be on the other side of 21.
Yeah, because Mary used to take me and Skippy there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it, but the problem is when you went to like a regular riding stable, not on your own horse,
Right.
that your horse would like,
Yeah.
but then as soon as it saw the stable, it was
Then
in
it
a
was-
full gallop. It was like, it knew that
We're
was
getting
just
food.
we're getting home. But yeah, I've ridden on a horse. I do like that. It's kind of cool. Number 3 is something on your bucket list.
To golf at St. Andrews.
Where's that at?
That is in Scotland.
Is that a Trump one?
No, that's the first golf course ever made.
Oh, the first golf course ever made. Oh,
Yeah.
It's got to be pretty rough then.
No.
Do they still take care of it?
Oh, yeah. It's cost, I
Isn't
think
Scotland known for their golf or something?
Yeah, it's like a $1,900 round of golf.
Oh. Well, when I win the lottery,
All right.
you'll have to find your own way there, but I'll pay for a round of golf.
That's fine.
Mine is just to hit my 100-pound loss. That's on my bucket list. It's always been on my bucket list. Number 4 would be your favorite ride at a fair.
Favorite ride.
See, I like the safe rides, but my favorite ride is the log ride because I'm thinking, how dangerous can it be? And then just a couple weeks
could
ago,
drown.
somebody did drown.
So-
the thing tipped over. It was like not a log ride, but it was like
Yeah.
similar to the log
Right.
ride, and it tipped over and she got trapped under the water.
See, when I was younger, I loved roller coasters. Not so much now. If I had to pick my favorite ride, I would say the Witch's Wheel.
What is
That's
the
the
witches?
one that goes like this,
Oh,
and then it.
no. I remember when I was in high school, we went to Babalo, which was you took the Babalo boat, and that's like even in my family, we like it real breezy, and we'll say we like it breezy in here, like the Babalo boat.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like really breezy, and you went down the Detroit River to this little island, and it was an amusement park, and there was one of those rides kind of similar to yours, but then as it spun, it went like up like this, and it kept spinning like
Yeah.
a Ferris wheel. Is that the
Yeah,
same
that's
one?
the Witch's Wheel.
And the people right above me were going to get sick, and I kept saying, everybody on my end of the thing is, don't get sick, because you could hear them. I'm going to throw up, and I kept thinking, don't throw up. As soon as they got off the ride, they went to the side, and
Me and Jamie Brady went on that because there was no one in line. We asked the guy, "Can we see how many times we can go on this?" We went on it like 15 times in a row. We never even got out.
no. And then what would be your last meal?
My last meal would be a steak and a fully loaded baked potato.
Oh, see, I would go like extreme. Mine would be, because it's my last meal, I'm going to die anyhow.
Sure.
I'm going to have my Alice's spring chicken with a baked potato loaded.
How much chicken as you have? You're going to have more chicken before you go.
I'm going to have more chicken before I go. But then I'm going to have a side of cheesy fries with some mozzarella sticks on the side with those. And then I'm going to have a hot fudge cake from Big Boy's, Bob's Big Boy. I'm going to have a hot fudge cake for my dessert. And for the bread, I'm going to have the bread from Longhorn, because I like their bread the best. And I'm going to have a chocolate malt from the Dairy Queen. All fattening
Got
foods.
that all planned out.
I'm all set. And then I'm going to be so sick, I'm just going to be wishing death upon
Yeah,
myself.
I was going to say
It's gonna
after
be-
that, I'd be like,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Carlin Johnson wants to know, what would you do if you won the lottery? I would build my dream house, but I know you're already doing that.
I would build mine and I'd not have a loan for it.
There you go. I would build a dream house, and I would give my family some money. Jim and I wouldn't agree on how much money we're giving people, but if I won the lottery, I would decide how much everybody's going to get. I'd give Jimmy at least $5.
At least.
At least $5.
Exactly.
But that would be that. But you know what? You got to buy the ticket to win. And every time I buy the ticket, I'm thinking, this is the ticket. This is the ticket.
You know what makes me mad is every time I buy, like, I won't go for, like, the big stuff. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll sneak under the 500,000 here and I'll get one of those, you know, because that's easier. And it's always like the 500,000 number is like 56 and then I'll 55. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
And see, my biggest, not to be greedy, but I'm going to sound greedy. I don't really care, because it's somebody got you the gift. They thought of you. Is if somebody's going to give me a $10 lottery ticket, I just prefer they gave me the $10. because I never win on the lottery ticket. So like they threw $10 away that I didn't get any enjoyment out of.
I don't
And
do
if
it.
I did win, I would feel obligated to give them some of my
That's
winnings.
why I don't buy them. Because
And that's
my
why,
luck-
yeah, and that's why I will never give you
Yes.
a lottery
No,
ticket.
I won't give
because
lottery tickets.
I'm strong enough or whatever, honest enough to tell you that I would resent you for
I
winning
would-
money that could have
I
been my
would.
ticket.
If you would have went, oh, I won $1 billion.
I was
I'd
like,
been
geez, that could have been mine. Why did I give him the other one? But I never win on lottery tickets. And you know what? I would tell you that I always bet 6159 is the 4-digit number. Always 6159. It's never come out. Never, never come
I'm
out.
playing it today on the way home.
But I still play it all the time. Whenever I go to if I buy a lottery ticket, I play 6159. Even though I know it's not going to work, but that's my numbers because that was my number at Montgomery Ward's, my clerk number. And then, what's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, so many.
Don't get them started.
Ooh, I got a lot.
Mine is I can't stand when people say 24/7. I did that 24/7. The only thing you do 24/7 is breathe. Name me something else you do 24/7 besides breathing.
Move.
No, because you're sleeping. You
still
could be like
sleeping. Something's still moving.
no. 24/7. I don't like that. And literally, I went
I
to
say
the,
that a lot, though.
Yes,
I
literally.
do say that a lot. Literally a lot.
Yes, he does.
I would say people that, it happened today on the way over here, people that are in and out of traffic and they're speeding and they're up on everyone's butts and
But my
then you get
favorite
to
is
the
when you
light
pull it and
and
they're
then
sitting
they're
there.
right there. I'm like,
I love that. That's my favorite part. My favorite, because somebody who zoomed past me yesterday, and they got to the light before me, and I just kind of looked over.
yep.
But now everybody's warned me about road rage, and there's been so much road
Oh,
rage
there has
lately.
been.
I just kind of give them a look and then look away. Of course, that's probably all sometimes somebody
I was going to
needs.
say.
Okay, Mary Singleton. Okay, now there's 2 stories to this one.
Oh, man.
Jimmy will tell you his story. I will tell you the true story.
No, this is going to be good.
What's the story behind your head injury? 2 different stories.
I always joke and say she smashed my head into something. She didn't smash my head into something.
She just pushed him. Just pushed me.
No, you didn't even push me. I was like going crazy, a little hyper.
They should have been on medication, but I didn't want to
should've.
put my kids on medication. So they weren't on medication, much to the chagrin of many a teacher.
Yeah, so I was running through the store was pretty quiet too, and I was running through back and forth. Well, she went to go like try and grab me and
The hoodie.
and couldn't reach me. So I thought it was a game now. So I'm just gonna keep doing laps and let her try, Well, the one time she snagged it, but then snagged the back part of the hood and grabbed it, which yanked me, turned me around, and then bam, I smashed right into the wooden corner of a display case and just gashed my head wide
Actually, it
open.
wasn't a wooden corner. It was one of those hooks that come out that
Was it the hook or
that hold the socks.
Oh, yeah.
So when I became a worker at Montgomery Ward's, the socks were always full because I never. I learned from that. I always made sure. I don't care if I had to rearrange socks. Even my manager would say, "Well, you got a thing for socks, don't you?" I says, "No, it's the hooks. I know what can happen with them."
Yes,
But Jimmy did tell you the true story.
that is the truth.
And then we went to the hospital, and he told the nurse.
I did tell the nurse that my
pushed
mom
me.
pushed me into that.
So I had to go into a separate room and talk to social services. And then, I don't know why we rewarded them. We went to Big
It was
Boys.
the big boys. I got a strawberry sundae.
Yes. And the waitress said, "What happened to you?" "My mom pushed me into a wreck." I thought, you tell one more person that story. Oh, anyway. Mary Ann Power, I don't know if I wrote this right. Where are you going to live? Well, this is where I'm going to live the rest of my life. Unless I win the lottery. This is my forever home.
I am going to live in St. Clair Township, Michigan.
Almost. It's not.
I would love to be in Florida, but that's probably not going to happen.
Jim always wanted to retire to Arizona, and I always told him, when you retire there, make sure I get my half of the pension check, because I'm not going. So we're still here. Annette wants to know if you ever tried tofu. I can't even read my own writing.
To say opinion.
That looks like, what's your opinion of it, I guess? Maybe that's it. It looks like opiate.
I was going to say, nope, never had any opiates.
Neither have I. Well, other than if the doctor prescribed them.
Well, that's true.
Other than that, but I've never eaten tofu. It
Neither have I.
it looks nasty.
Yeah,
It just,
I can't.
I know people say, well, you just got to jazz it up. You know, if anything you got to jazz up, it's not worth the time.
No.
It's not worth the time and effort for me. It's just not.
Nope.
Pam Kemper wants to know what your favorite memory is with your kids.
I would say with David, this is actually funny. We had 2 trees that lined the driveway. Actually, I have 2 stories because they're about tied. We had 2 trees that lined the driveway, and this was when he was like 3 or 4, so he was able to kind of climb the tree and play. Well, I was in the breakfast nook eating breakfast. It was a Saturday, and I was watching him play. It's right outside the window. And I just happened to look up, and he kind of fell, but he grabbed the tree and wrapped his legs and everything around it and slid down the tree like it was a pole. Well, then he got up because obviously he hurt himself,
right.
But he was waddling like he was walking funny, and I'm like, part of me sees he's not crying,
right.
so I'm laughing now, like, because it was funny. Well, he comes in behind me in the back door, and I hear, Dad. And I turn around, I go, what? And he's waddling. He goes, I broke my coconuts. I go, you didn't break your coconuts. He's like, I did, they're gone. And I'm like, come here. And I'm like, see, they're still there. Everything's fine. And then another one was, there was a tall tree next to the house, and I was cutting the grass one day, and this G.I. Joe like hits me on the shoulder. Well, as I'm riding the lawnmower, I'm like, where the hell did that come from? I'm like, yeah, whatever. So as I'm circling, I keep getting hit with these toys. Well, I told him not to climb the tree too high. He was older than that. He was probably 8 or 9. I told him not to climb too high. That's when we went up probably a good 40 feet and had like all his guys, like little forts up there, and he's playing up there. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, I dropped it.
Oh. Then with Alyssa?
Alyssa would be, she was probably about one. I have the picture too. We were going somewhere for Easter, and you remember Alyssa wouldn't smile for anybody.
No.
She wouldn't, nothing.
Well, because of her teeth.
No, this was when she was a baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She
So
was a chunker.
Yeah, she was. So she was like 1, and we're trying to take Easter pictures, so we have her with David, no smile. We have her with Cindy, no smile. And I already know she's going to smile with me, so I'm always joking, like, she's going to smile with me because, it's Daddy's girl. She's like, no, she's not. And so Cindy answered me, I put her on, I go, ready for a picture? Smile! And we both turned, and she's just big old smile. I got the picture, and she's like, God, you.
Oh.
That and her coming out in a bikini. Oh.
Yeah, Jimmy's not ready for that.
No, I'm not ready for that.
I'm trying to think of my favorite memory. One of my favorite memories of David. It's not a good memory though, but it's like, don't say the words what he said, Jim, but he said it the right tone. Remember when David said,
yeah.
Oh, you remember what it was?
Yeah.
Don't say it.
GD.
Right. But why was he saying, and he said it like he was trying to do something. He's sleeping, so he can't tell me. I forget what he was trying to do, and he couldn't do it, and he was just sitting there, and he's heard that from his
mother.
Not from me. I never use the Lord's name in vain.
Word. That's Cindy's.
Oh, I was going to say not me, because I don't use the Lord's name in vain ever.
That's Cindy's go-to.
But he was trying to do something, and he went, "This won't work." And I went, "What? What did you say?" And then he said it again, and it's like, "No, we don't say that. That's a bad word." He says, well, "Mom says it all the time." It's like, no. I would say any of my favorite memories of with my kids are just when we went to the cottage and just taking the baths in the lake, which they absolutely hated. We'd all come down with our own little bar of soap, and we'd have the one bottle of shampoo that floated.
Yes.
The bottom floated. Yeah. But you had to hold on to the soap because the soap didn't float.
The soap did not float.
Yeah, we could have got ivory, but we never, for some reason, because we use Zest. We've always used Zest.
Right.
So you had to hold on to that soap, and if it went under the water, you had to find it.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I would say any of the times at the cottage. Really.
Yeah, it was fun.
It really was. I had a lot of fun. And I like going to their games and stuff like that. That was fun. Steph Ross Brown wants to know, they want to see your front driveway. Oh no, your frame dime. When you have your dime, you got to frame it.
Okay, I'll show everyone the frame dime, but we can't move it until everything is done.
Yes, they're still
Like-
going through their inspections.
That's that. When we signed, we already talked about it because Samantha was like, "What are we framing that?" I'm like, we're not touching that until like signing on the dotted line. Then I'll grab it.
There you go.
But I will show it.
Okay, Nancy Who wants to know, if you had money to open your business, what would it be and what would you call it? I already know mine. I would have a soup and sandwich shop, that's a mouthful. Soup and sandwich shop that you open, that you have for lunch. It's just like lunchtime opening. And you would go in and you would have like a cup of soup and a half a sandwich, and then you could get a scoop of ice cream. And I would have it SSS because all my friends know the way to remember my birthday is Sandy, September 7th. So even on my birthday cards, all my friends will put, like they're like, and at the very bottom, they'll always put SSS. So I am going to call it sandwich, soup, scoops, and sandwiches. That's my
See,
name.
I don't have anything clever for a name.
See?
It would be a construction business, and I would probably just call it Carrico Construction.
Boring. Although you were going to open the car wash. They were when you were younger. You
Well,
and
that's
Danny
true.
and Brad and William.
Yep.
Because their last name is Newer and ours was Carrico, so they were going to call it New Car.
Yeah.
Car Wash. For the first 3 letters of, which was a clever name, but you
See?
never opened and that would have been an easy business. You just have to go and change the course. Although now there's a coin shortage.
I was gonna
So.
say, yeah.
And number 2, well, we already know where Jimmy's going to go, but if you received a 2-week paid vacation to Europe, where would you go and why? Scotland.
Yep.
Because you would have the vacation paid, you could come up with the
See,
$1,900.
and you're paying for the round, so I can go in.
No, that's only if I win the lottery,
Oh, that's true.
and we've already talked about that. That's not likely going to happen.
No,
That's like, mine would be, I would like to go to Ireland. I would love to
I
go
would
to
like to go to
Ireland.
Ireland too.
'Cause my
I would like
family-
to go to Ireland and like go back to like the very first person, like the very first Manning, like our
Oh,
like,
yeah.
in our thing and see.
I forget where our family comes from. Michael Clarney? That's where our family's from.
Right.
Culinary or something? Killarney? Killarney, that's where
Yeah.
my family's originated from. But I'd like to go there. My cousin Paul went and he did meet family. But you know what? I know they're family, but they're not really family.
No.
Because you don't know them. But it would be kind of cool. I'd like to go to Ireland. And then I'd skip on over to London and I'd meet...
Literally skip.
I would literally skip, literally skip. I would skip over to London so I could see my pal Esther Newman. I'd go see Esther because she's in London. Of course, Patricia McLaughlin was in Scotland, so I could see her. See, I think you got to hit all of them. I think like when you see England.
Everyone I've talked to that has went to England or Ireland has all said that they went to like Ireland, Scotland.
Yeah, because I think that's kind of
It's
like us.
all-
Yeah, I think that's like us going to Michigan, Indiana, Ohio,
Right.
and Illinois
Yeah.
type of thing. Diana Antu wants to know, you were told under no circumstances to do this when your parents were gone. What did you do?
I did it.
It doesn't matter what it was, he did it.
Doesn't matter. Remember you said, once again, we're going to go back to babysitting while you were bowling, that you said I didn't do, but I did. And this will prove it because you'll remember this. So you said, all right, I'm going bowling. Nobody's allowed over the house. That's it.
Oh, I would say that every
Okay.
week, yeah.
It snowed, and that was when we first moved in Thornton. And remember Lisa that lived,
Oh,
the
yeah.
girl that lived, and Heather,
Yeah.
the one I was dating.
Right.
Not dating yet, but that's when we
Yeah.
met. We were yelling back and forth through the door wall, and it snowed. So I told them to come over. We like yelled the phone number, like,
Yeah.
the phone number is this. So then we talked on the phone. I said, why don't you come over? Because I can't leave. I'm not allowed to leave. But I wasn't allowed to have friends over the house.
No.
So they didn't come in. They stayed on the patio. But then you came home and you went, genius, everyone's footprints are in the backyard.
I remember that now that you mention it. I remember one time we gave Christy a birthday party at the house, and we had balloons tied to the chairs, and then they had their little goodie bags and stuff that they could take. And the parents came to pick everybody up, and Danny was on a bowling league. He was like 10, I think. And we went to pick him up from the bowling league, and everybody had picked up all of the kids, and so we left. I locked the door. We left to go, pick up Danny from the bowling alley, and he was running a little bit late. And I thought, well, it's no big deal. And then Christy, who was probably 7 at the time, 6 or 7, She says, well, I hope Andrea doesn't get bored. And I go, what are you talking about? She says, well, we left Andrea at the house. Her mom never came to pick her up. I left a kid at the house. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I said, where was she? She says, so she was in the bathroom when we left. So I drove home, and Andrea was nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. I couldn't find her anywhere. And I thought, oh my gosh, she left. So I'm calling Andrea's mother because I'm just so petrified, like what happened to her daughter. And she says, no, Jessica's mother brought her home. So she went home with Jessica. But I didn't know that. But she had gone in the bathroom before she left, and I could have smacked Christy. Got my heart pumping, and I had to go back and get up Danny. But I remember that was, this one's for me. What is the most times you ever sang happy birthday? I couldn't even tell you. I think the one time I had, well, on my birthday, I think I shared my birthday with like 8 or 9 different people on my birthday. But Corbin Burnson from LA Law, he was on Psych also, and he was on some other show. The Resident, he's on The Resident. He was born the same year I was born, but every year that I got older, he got a year younger. So now, when I'm 70, he says he's 65. No, we were born in 1950. I remember that when he was on LA Law. I thought, we get the same birthday.
He purposely says?
Yeah, no, whenever he's on anything, he always says, well, back when I was born in like one time it was 1955, and then it was 1957, and it's like, no, you were on LA Law, when I looked at it, I could see that your birthday was the same as mine, because it was unusual that somebody had the exact same birth and year. But, I don't know. And how did it get started? Because somebody had told me one time that, it was nice that we have birthdays that we were able to sing, and they wanted to know how the cha-cha-cha started, which was Kylie. Kylie started the cha-cha-cha. And I said, well, you know what, let me know when your birthday is, because I think that it's a crime that somebody doesn't sing happy birthday to you on your birthday. It's the least that you deserve on your birthday.
That's true.
And so she told me her name, and her birthday just happened to be coming up within the week. And then people just started requesting it. And then I sang to somebody for their anniversary one time, and then they said, well, my anniversary is. And so I'm thinking, that's another celebration.
That is.
And I love singing. I love it. I get upset, like the other day when I couldn't get my video to upload, that it didn't upload on their actual birthday.
No.
So that bothers me. Not that I know that everybody doesn't watch my video on their birthday. They can watch it like another day. But it's just like, I want to make sure that that's your birthday.
That's true.
You're the only one like that in the world. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's not. Janet M. wants to know what Sam's dream kitchen is, like her cabinets and things like that.
Oh, they are definitely La Fata cabinets, and they are very nice.
What color in that?
She picked out like I don't want to say white, but it's like not antique white. It's not white, but it's got the, I'm horrible at describing like this. It's got the faded inside all the cracks.
Well, you're a carpenter,
not
a painter. Oh, stressed?
Like the distressed look.
Okay.
That has all that with granite countertops, and then
I would have thought she would have picked marble or quartz.
No, quartz is way too expensive. So, and then it's a double oven. She's got a range, and then she has her dream island, which is 7 foot wide by 5 foot deep.
Oh, wow. That is going to be a nice. I'm not going to want to go over there because I'm going to be mad at her. I'm going to be jealous. My dream kitchen would be a bigger island, because I have a nice island, but I like a bigger island. I'd like an island where I could sit at, because we can't really sit at that. Well, we could sit at this end, but what's the point?
Right.
And then I would want a double oven. I would want 2 dishwashers, because with family dinners, we need 2 dishwashers. I'd like a great big sink, like the whole counter window over my sink. Like where the sink isn't, like the whole counter, just like a window, like a picture window over my sink, which would take up my covered space, which would mean I'd need a nice walk-in pantry.
Well, we have that too.
So
that's the only thing that we were bummed about, the way everything was laid out, designed, is we don't have a window over the sink, but the sink is in the island, so it's kind of facing in, so you can still see everywhere.
And the last question, look at this, is a half an hour. Oh my gosh. Ooh. This is going to be a long upload. Jimmy, can you cook, and what's your specialty?
I can cook.
They learned to cook when they were old enough to stand in front of the stove.
But our women that we dated didn't know that until you told them that. We made sure of that.
I made sure that they knew that their men can cook.
Yes. I would say, oddly enough, I cook a lot of eggs because I eat a lot of eggs.
Oh, and you make the worst fried eggs.
Oh, no.
Oh,
The
they're nasty.
best.
I've never had a fried egg in my life. But if I looked at Jimmy's eggs, it would be the last egg I would ever try.
No, I will take a picture tomorrow morning after I make one, and they can decide which one we'll show next week.
It's like a fried egg that's scrambled, that's poached, and it's like
It is like,
nasty looking. It's a hot mess.
no, I will agree.
It's a hot mess.
I accidentally cooked it one day like this, and now that's the only way I cook it. I can make it over easy, but I can make it runny, but the same egg, I can make half of it solid, and I fold it over, so it's like kind of like poached. So
Yeah, I'm telling you,
it's
it's nasty. Look, it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess.
It's perfect because what I do is I take the half that's not runny and I put that on my toast and I eat it that way. And then with my last piece of toast, I dip it in all the runny stuff. But I would say anything grilling, I can grill like there's no tomorrow.
And see, Danny does all the cooking in his family. He does, like, because he gets home from work first, so
Right.
that's why he does all the cooking. And Christy's a really good cook. Christy makes she's a good baker too.
Yeah.
But she's a good cook. When we ever go there for dinner, I've never had a meal at her house that I didn't like. Sam's a good cook too.
No, she's a very good cook.
Yes.
And then, actually, I got a funny story about cooking. So, she was going somewhere when we first moved in together. She was going out with her friends.
You lived in Sim, and I didn't know about it.
No, would you believe that?
They still do.
So, she was going out somewhere, and she know I love ham. So, she's like, hey, I have a ham in the roaster pan. Just all you have to do is throw it in there every once in a while, take the baster, and you're fine. Well, at the time, I just moved in, so I was building a bathroom and the bedroom for David in the basement so they could move in. So I was downstairs. David was upstairs doing something, and he come down, and he's like, are we barbecuing? And I go, what are you talking about? No, we're not barbecuing, we're having ham. Well, the whole upstairs is full of smoke. And I'm like, what? So I go running. I had Jesse right behind me running. And it was. The whole upstairs was all smoke from my chest up. And Jamie's just sitting in her room like, I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, all these kids are like, David's the only one, they come up. Well, it turned out there was a hole, like a pinhole, like right in the bottom of the pan. And it was slowly like dripping inside the oven.
Oh.
So then after a while, that grease and everything from the ham is just it's smoke and everything. So for the longest time, Samantha was like, oh, you just don't know how to cook. And I'm like, I know how to cook. It's not my fault. And then finally she had to use that pan and it happened. She's like, oh, I figured it out. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, anyway, thanks for the questions. If you have any questions for us for next week, ask us
away.
anything. Like you see, Jimmy will answer anything.
Anything.
He doesn't really care.
Nope.
I've heard that Tracy might do a tag next week, so if we do one, it probably will go up on Thursday. So, if you're new to our channel, yeah, because we'll film it on Tuesday.
Like,
comment,
subscribe.
and share.